Hey y'all, good morning. Hopefully, can everybody hear me okay? Hopefully y'all can hear me. Happy Monday. Hey, I wanted to do COTD. Linda, do we have a COTD today?
Nothing today except a 30-day review. If you are in your first 30 days, you can meet with Leslie. And then we, of course, have luxury in the morning and team meeting tomorrow.
So we have hopping into luxury starting at 9 a.m. on Tuesday. Tomorrow is jam-packed. 9 a.m. on Tuesday. If you're interested in breaking into the luxury space, seeing all that KW Luxury has to offer, Rachel Martin is hosting a class on that. So I would encourage y'all to attend if you want to learn more, and that'll be at 9. And then team meeting will start right at 11. I am leading team meeting tomorrow, and I'm going to talk about what I believe I'm seeing in the real estate market, where it's going this year in terms of home sales. I'm also going to look at what's called our language of real estate, and what language of real estate stands for is how are we performing in our local markets? What can we do to fill some of the gaps to help us serve more people? So we'll go over market numbers, and we're also going to have lunch, I think, provided as well. Linda, is that correct? Tomorrow? I know we don't do it every week, but I'm not sure if we're doing that tomorrow or not. But all
No
that to
lunch
say,
tomorrow.
no lunch tomorrow. All that to say is we are rolling out of quarter one, which means I want to study some numbers and see what we should be planning for and where we can button up our businesses so that we can make sure that we still capture market share in this market. So, and saying all that, I want to bring up two things before I go into value squared. I was just on the phone. Philip and I are doing a book club. It was called The Talent War. We just wrapped up, and I started pondering something, and I want to just mention it here. You know, y'all, I read a lot of books, and I'm in a lot of different book clubs. And what I told Philip is I don't have all my systems set in place in terms of hiring talent and leadership development. And so, like I told him, I said, instead of me just checking a box and going to the next thing, I am going to re-dive into that book and create a system around it. And so I think this is just a reminder, and quite frankly, an aha to me. If we're just going to classes, or we're just reading books to check a box, and we're not truly committed to going down through a mastery journey and creating a system around it, I would encourage us sometimes to slow down to speed up. So deciphering when, hey, I need to go back through and read that book and actually execute on the concepts and the strategy so that I can create a system, versus me just saying, "Oh, I've got to my 24th book," right? So I think sometimes because we like things fast paced, we don't truly take the material and execute on the material. And then we're missing a huge opportunity for a system. But not, like I also told him, I'm at a different stage of my career. So I would encourage y'all as we go through value squared, and there's a reason why I go so slow on all of these different value squared, AI, even shift. We've been on shift for like 6 months, because if we don't truly master the concept, then we're just reading it for reading's sake. So all that to say, I'm going to hit on value squared, but this is a friendly reminder. Y'all can get value squared information from command, and then you can literally just build out your entire system from it. So if that is a gap in your business right now, I would encourage you to slow down to speed up and go back through. And I'm going to show y'all just the system and where you can create that. Let me get over here. All right. So in terms of, I know we're on the buyer side of this. And so it says BuyerCore Services, what you do. This is where you can put this into chat, literally take this information and say, create a system for me, system of questions, a talk track, whatever it may be, create this system. And then y'all can create a standard operating procedures system, because businesses that are most successful have a clear SOP that lists everything that they're expected to do and how they're supposed to deliver the value to the customer, right? Chick-fil-A has a system. And I would encourage you, even as a solopreneur, to put your system in place so that every single time you're in front of somebody, you're delivering the exact same value and the same level of service every time you meet with a customer. So we're on the buy side at this point. They also have it on the list side, just so y'all know, on the seller side. But if I was y'all, if you're going to slow down to speed up, go through each of these little modules and create a system, put it in your Google Drive and just title it standard operating procedure. And that way, if you ever decide to scale, you're scaling based on a system and not yourself. Tell people that all the time. I don't, Chick-fil-A, I don't get to talk to Truett Cathy. However, he has created a massive system and brand with Chick-fil-A. And that's my goal with any of the organizations that I get to be blessed to be a part of. So anyway, just want to hit on that. So BuyerCore Services, what you do. So as a buyer, obviously working with buyers, they generally fall into 5 categories. You got to consult them. I would even put teach them because that they need to know that they've got an opportunity to access it. But consult them, search for properties, find the house, negotiate the contract, and then close the sale, right? So these are all of the services regarding what you currently do, right? And do you have a system that helps you with these 5 different buckets? So I'm going to hit on consulting to the decision first. It says the goal of this stage is for you and the buyer to reach an agreement and set expectations. This right here is key. No expectations equals a loss of relationship and at the end of the day, probably a lost deal, lost opportunity, all of the things. And I always say this, whenever something goes sideways or wrong, it's important for y'all to look inward to see where y'all set the wrong expectations. So I do believe that this is a critical in how successful the relationship or the transaction or the business partnership goes. It has to be clear cut, set expectations. And then obviously how you're going to align your services with the compensation that you believe you deserve. All right. So number 1, you have to have a strategy session. You've got to identify their motivation and you've got to do a needs analysis. So you want to put this into chat and ask chat to give you a needs analysis or questions for you to create a strategy session with your buyer. I like to use LP Mama. Location, price, motivation, agent, mortgage appointment. That's easy for me. And then I do a needs analysis on, and dive deeper into those things. What is it? What's important to them about the location of the property? What's when you say you're willing to do some repairs, is that major repairs, minor repairs? So I go 3 deep in all of those things. 3 deep meaning I ask 3 additional questions to their answer. So I'm consistently asking questions throughout the strategy session to make sure I'm crystal clear on what it is that they want. Then I explain my process, right? So I explain what I do. So what I mean by that is I explain, hey, I will search for off-market properties for you. I will make sure I get very clear on what you need and what you want. I will help you connect to top tier vendor partners so that you can make sure that you get what you need throughout the process, etc. How I do it and the value to them, and then what I charge, how I get paid, etc. So then I explain that process. And then I explain the home buying process. I heard somebody say this recently, and I think this is a good one. Y'all need to say home buying process made easy in 3 steps because it's so overwhelming. So instead of making it super complicated, just say you've got me every step of the way, but I'm just going to sum it up in 3 steps. And y'all can put this into chat and it will tell you exactly what to do. And then I'm going to pre-qualify you, right, as a buyer. And then we're going to make the decision to buy or not buy. And then we're going to review the agreement and sign it. And then we'll arrange financing. I want to say this. When we arrange financing, why do I like to set the appointment and be on the call, on the very first call?
Because with a brand new
Anybody?
home buyer, they don't even know what to ask. So you want to make sure that you're guiding them to make sure that they're very, like that the situation is, best for them.
Well,
They don't know what to tell the loan officer, right?
even as a seasoned buyer, right? they don't do this day in and day out. They don't really know all of their options, right? And so how can I line up calls with 3 different LOs, me get on the call and say, hey, here's some questions that I would encourage you to ask. What type of programs do you recommend? Do you want to pay little upfront, or do you want to put more upfront to limit your monthly payment, yada, yada. So all that to say is, if I can set that up, I can help coach the buyer into the questions that they're asking so that the buyer can get what they need. I don't need to look at all their financials. I don't need to know all of the nitty gritty in terms of their financial situation, but I do want to coach and help them so that they can ask the appropriate questions to get them the best product that they need. So all that to say, I'm going to just stop here because I'm going to go back to exactly what I said earlier. If we all don't have SOPs and we're not taking the time to chunk that down, y'all are missing a huge opportunity regarding a system for your business. And I would encourage you to slow down and speed up. All right, I had something in the chat. Somebody said something. Oh, I'm guilty of going straight to the next book. Same. Don, one thing I said, I'm really good at deciphering which ones I need to read, like physically read, and which ones I need to listen to. So I just listened to the Talent War. Now I need to read it and get a physical copy, because then I need to highlight it and figure out what parts of my systems are not there. And what I realized is there's a lot that's not there. So anyway, I'm going to do a deep dive back into it. So take what we're doing in Value Squared, use your unique value proposition, put it into chat, start building out your SOP so that you're delivering the same results every single time. And guess what? When you deliver the same results every single time, then the client, you will create a raving fan, and then they will share you with everybody in their network. So actually, it's called The Talent War is the book that I'm reading. It's regarding special ops community and how large businesses scale with talent acquisition. So it's called The Talent War. All right, everybody, y'all make it a good one. We'll see y'all tomorrow for a jam-packed day. If y'all need anything, let me know today. Please go lead generate, and let's get the job done. Bye, everybody.